What inspired you to get into this work and also to get into the organization?
Well, I actually, prior to my role at Avanzar, I was actually in the banking industry, which has nothing to do with my background.
Okay.
My bachelor's is in psychology. I have a master's in criminal justice. So when the position opened, I actually wasn't in this role. I was an outreach coordinator. So it was the opportunity, because I am an Atlantic City native, I'm from the county, that I had to kind of spread awareness and outreach about sexual violence to anybody in the community. So that's really what drove me to apply and be a part of the organization. And I did get to go to different high schools and middle schools and things like that to talk to kids at the same schools and places that I went in this area about preventing sexual violence. And then as time moved on, I moved into this role, which actually still helps me to spread awareness because I'm teaching these people how to go out and help victims that report.
Okay. Let's talk about after those pieces are done. Obviously, if you've been a victim of sexual assault, it's more about not the present, it's more about the future and providing supports. What resources are available to support a victim in the future?
So we at Avanzar, we offer counseling, so that would be ongoing. So if a person does go and get an exam, that would kind of be like the first step or the first stage of the process.
Okay.
And then they could move forward with counseling and different things like that within our agency to kind of move forward with their process and dealing with the grief and the trauma that occurs from sexual assault. In addition to that, there are online resources, Break the Cycle, RAIN, different things that people can access if they don't want to meet someone in person. Because a lot of times people have a problem going because they're not ready to get to that point, but just to have somebody to talk to is also helpful as well.
Okay. For our viewers,
Yes.
if they know somebody that has been a victim,
Yes.
how can they provide support? What can they do to make sure that they're doing everything they can possibly to support a victim?
So the first thing they can do is believe them. That is most important, because if somebody, either if they disclose to you, they are being transparent with you and they have found some sort of trust in you as that person to confide in. So just make sure you listen to them. And also as a bystander, just know your resources in the area. That way you could tell them when they are ready and able to get help.
Okay. I want to go back to something you mentioned previously, and you mentioned about our culture.
Yes.
And you mentioned about a rape culture.
Yes.
So since we're talking about sexual assault, I also want to kind of keep this conversation real.
Yes.
What does that mean? What does a rape culture mean?
So a rape
in
culture
today's society?
in America per se is a culture that embodies violence in general and sexual violence especially. So a culture that objectifies women as sexual objects, a culture that doesn't believe victims and blames victims. So this is seen in our media, this is seen in news outlets and things like that. So the first step to kind of breaking that culture is education and awareness.
Okay. Thank you very much for that explanation. Let's go back and wrap up with, once again, how someone can get in touch with you, yes, or even the hotline, okay, if they are in need or for assistance.
Okay, so our local number at Avanzar, again, is 609-646-6767. We also have another number, which is to our administrative offices. That phone number is 609-601-9925. My extension is 1031, so that extension can have a person reach me directly.
Okay. Thank you very much for the work that you do. And again, thank you for partnering with the HT Schools. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you.